All right, so earlier today we were sent a screener for the newest horror film Traumatika,
Yes.
which is a collaboration between Rebecca Kennedy and this director whose last name I'm not even going to attempt. But they worked on a movie called Two Witches,
Yeah.
which we watched a few years ago now
Yeah, I
and
think it was a
quite
couple
liked.
years ago, yeah.
And at the end of that, they announced that there would be a sequel, and thus far have not delivered on said sequel.
No, that's okay though.
So hopefully that's still in the works, but for now, we're going to get to their newest film, Traumatika. Now, we're seeing this all the way back on August 14th, but we're not allowed to release this until September 10th. And this film comes out September 12th. It should be going to at least limited theaters and probably be on VOD not too long after that. But as far as a plot synopsis goes, that's kind of difficult. This movie jumps around a lot, especially in time.
Yeah.
We start way further back than I would have ever expected.
Yes.
Because
yeah.
I just thought all of this would be modern day, but the movie really jumps all over the place. There's like an evil, and for some reason, I'm trying to remain vague on this, but it deals with people having trauma from evil experiences and how that kind of is getting passed on.
It's the demon like kind of feeds on children.
Okay.
I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah.
So it's about child abuse and childhood trauma and how that.
But it doesn't only go for children.
No.
Later in the movie,
yeah,
there's no children involved.
But anyway, that's
why I'm saying it's the plot synopsis is a little difficult. So yeah, I know that Kaylee, I kind of already know her thoughts on this, and I think that we're a bit on opposite ends, unfortunately. I think there's things to like about this movie, but I also think that this movie is a bit try-hard, where what I mean by that is I think that they're trying to be edgy, and they're trying to kind of do almost like a Terrifier thing to a degree, because the level of quality that this film has as far as like the production quality reminds me of something like the movie Little Bites from last year, the Spider-1 film that we watched, or like the first Terrifier film. It's got that lower budgeted indie quality to it, which is fine. I mean, I liked both of those films, but the stuff that they're throwing in here, it's kind of just like, what's edgy, what's gross, let's throw it all on the screen at once. And it feels a bit forced. And I didn't care for that. And I also think the story is kind of all over the place and very disjointed. And I don't think things are developed very well at all. We don't spend enough time with characters to ever really get any connection to them. It's really mostly just a film that's trying to shock you. And I just didn't find any of it to be all that shocking. And maybe that's just because I'm desensitized. But I don't know. Some of it has some cool visuals and some cool style here and there, and I like aspects. It's a cherry pick movie for me where I'm like, oh, that's cool. But for the most part, I don't know. There's something off about it. There was something missing for me that just made this film feel cheap.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with you. I didn't feel like it was try hard at all. And I will say that I do agree that it feels a little too short. Like, I would have liked more time. This is a very short film. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. And I think we could have easily gotten another, 20 minutes, 10 or 20 minutes of of stuff happening in the story, which maybe would have fleshed out some of those characters that you felt we didn't get enough time with or anything. But overall, I thought this was a really cool movie. I think that it has a lot of great gore, and even though it is low budget, it looks good. There really is some great visual stuff going on, and I think that the story itself is got something to say, especially about trauma and how that affects people. And it is really brutal, but I didn't feel like anything was there just to shock you. It felt like this movie is just trying to be as dark as that stuff can actually be. And I appreciated that, because there's a lot of horror films that do address trauma, childhood trauma and otherwise, and don't necessarily go all the way with it. They kind of allude to it, or it's maybe a background theme that's going on, but that's all that's happening in this. And so I appreciated that it was a lot darker than other films that try and address the same subject matter. So yeah, I don't know, I thought it was great. I think that there's a lot of good stuff in here. I just wish that we had gotten more time overall. That's maybe the biggest complaint that I have, is just that it was a little too short for me. But there was some genuinely really scary moments, visual scares and gags that happened that I thought was really creepy. And yeah. I don't know, I think you're being too hard on it.
That's fine.
I think that people, because for me it's also different than, like, the Terrifier movies, I think are kind of meant to shock you. I think that the gore and the violence and stuff that happens there is supposed to be a shock value to them, but I didn't get that sensation at all watching this. But I do think that the level of gore and stuff is, like, comparable to a Terrifier film. It just feels like the intent is different.
Yeah. I don't feel like I don't think this film has anything to say. I completely disagree.
God. That's crazy.
Like,
nothing to say. You think it has nothing to say?
No, I don't.
That's crazy.
I think that the movie uses the trauma stuff as part of its gimmick, but I don't think there's any deep meaning to anything here. I think, there's no exploration of it. There's no counter to it. There's no exploration of deeper themes with the characters and what's happening to them. It's all just there to be traumatic to the viewer and to the character, but there's no deeper exploration of those themes. So to me, it's just all shock for shock's sake, and maybe you are attaching something to it personally, but I just don't see it, because we just don't spend any real meaningful time with anybody. It's all just scenes of trauma. It's all just scenes of either abuse or horror or gore, and that's all good and well. I'm a horror fan. I like dark shit. But I just don't like this as a narrative. I don't think that there's really anything going on here narratively. Like, it is really just like a hodgepodge of, like, one gag after the other strung together, a bunch of different timelines that kind of interconnect, and there's characters in there, but there's nothing really going on with them on a deeper level that I can even connect to for it to say anything to me. Like, I don't know what I would get from the film that I wouldn't already glean otherwise from those types of traumatic experiences that I already know exist. These characters don't give me anything new to chew on or to think about when it comes to physical abuse, sexual abuse, whatever kind of abuse that you want to, that they're shining a light on here. There's nothing being given to us as like a new lens to see from a different angle, so I can sit back and go, wow, that I really connected to that thing because it was being shown to me through this vulnerable character, or through a new kind of like light of how to address this thing from maybe a different perspective that like I've never thought about before, some other kind of experience of a different kind of person, where their experience is giving me something that I'm like, oh wow, I really got to think about that now. Like, there's nothing like that in this movie. This is all just very, like, shock, like, surface level, I'm doing terrible things and these things are awful. Like, that's it for me. So I don't know. I don't see it.
I think that there's very clear connections between the characters and things that like this is
there's clear connections of how they're related.
Yeah, but you were like there's like they don't connect at all, and it's like I think that's kind of
emotionally.
I don't agree. I think emotionally it definitely connects. I think that and it doesn't necessarily have to be saying new things about trauma.
Okay.
Because what I was meaning is that earlier, it shows trauma in a really dark and evil way.
It does.
But that doesn't mean that it has to be like, here's a new perspective on how you can handle trauma or how trauma can exist. Because there's already like a lot of examples of trauma in the film. Mm-hmm. And the characters, like, it's, that kind of cycle, the cyclical nature of abuse that happens. So, yeah, I'm pretty shocked that you're, like, this, like, down on it. I feel like this is probably the most split we've been on a film for sure this year, because I definitely didn't take it that way at all.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised when this ended and you were like, that was really rad. And I was like, wow, I didn't feel like that at all. Which is fine. I mean, we're gonna, we're always gonna...
Yeah, I'm just right, so...
That's fine. That's fine. We'll see how people feel.
I don't know, yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see. Yeah.
I want people to feel like you, of course. I want people to enjoy their time with this. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably give it like a 2.5, 3 or something on Letterboxd. I think it's cool visually. It's got some neat things. It borrows a couple scares, something from like Anything for Jackson, stuff like that. That's fine. I don't care about any of that. I don't know. And some of the acting, of course, it's an indie, it's rough, but whatever. I don't care about that stuff. It's cool to see AJ Bowen. I haven't seen him in a little while.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with any of the acting. I think it has a great vibe and like atmosphere to it too.
You didn't have a problem with any of the acting. Wow. Okay, we are way off on this one.
No,
that's fine.
I don't know. I didn't think any of the acting was out of place or anything. No.
No, it's just amateur. Like, not all of it. Some of it's fine, and some of it's just amateur. This whole film feels very indie, very low budget, and amateur in a lot of ways. So I think that it's got quality aspects. But I don't know, man. We're way, way disconnected on this one.
I guess so.
All right. Yeah, that's good, though. That's good, I think a lot of people think that, we mirror each other because, like, one of us is a follower or one of us doesn't, or both of us don't want to disagree with each other or whatever. And it's like, no, it happens here and there. It doesn't happen often. We just happen to have very similar tastes a lot of the times. And I can be higher on a movie and you can be lower on a movie or vice versa, but it's usually not,
like this, yeah.
Not this much. And
we definitely had it.
I don't want to feel this way. I mean, this is...
No, I don't want you to feel this way either.
Or either way. I don't, obviously, as you guys know, I'm a very positive reviewer. I mean, I get criticized for liking too much all the time.
This is your film, even though you said you don't hate it, but...
No, I didn't. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I think I've said my piece.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. I'm curious what everybody else thinks. Yeah. How did you feel about it?
And now we have to wait for a month.
We'll have to wait to find out.
To see if anyone agrees with us.
Did it feel hollow to you? Did it feel not hollow?
Yeah.
How did you think the acting and everything felt? Just let us know.
I say
go see it in theaters because I think it'd be cool to see it in theaters.
I also need to contact good old Lee McCoy from Drum Dums because his fucking review is already up. And I'm not understanding if my review is under embargo for a full month and he was sent this by the same person. Because I contacted him and was like, bro, where'd you get your Traumatika screener? And he's like, oh, from this person. And I'm like, that's who's been sending me all of the information on this. And this is usually who sends me the screeners.
I guess we'll have to check.
He posted it early. He did. 100%. The guy's fucking... I'm calling him out. You fucked up. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe he just didn't notice it or... Maybe he just doesn't care. Maybe he's a rebel.
I want to know what he thinks. Did you watch the review?
I saw the thumbnail.
Okay. I'm curious what he thought
I typically
about this.
don't watch people's reviews until I've seen the movie.
Yeah. Okay, of course.
Because I don't like anyone fucking up my
expectations.
Yeah. But on the thumbnail it said something like, "This movie will fuck you up."
Yeah.
I
would say that I think that for like a lot of I don't know, it's always hard. I like to give like warnings to people because I think there's some really dark stuff in this, like kind of trigger warning content if you're that type of person.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know, that is something to maybe be aware of. Like there's some depictions of sexual abuse and like child sexual abuse and stuff that happens and just other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway,
I guess that's it. We're going to go.
All right, we got to get to the movie. We're going to see Jimmy and Stiggs, one we can review tonight and actually put up.
Yeah.
Or we can just say fuck embargoes like Lee McCoy.
Bye.
Bye.